A very warm welcome to you all. Those of you who have been following my African Landcruiser troop carrier build are in for a treat. The series begins again now. It's 2024. That means 40 years that I've been exploring the world's most remote places in four-wheel drives in association with the Overland Workshop. The time this video is being released, I will be on my way to the airport on a plane or are already in South Africa, preparing my new troop carrier for its first expedition, which starts in April through May 24.
Look all right? You see?
In December 23, my daughter Kate and her husband Cam went to see it. Lucky buggers.
Fine? Okay. So, we have just arrived at Snyman's 4x4. We've come to look at Andrew, my dad's, troop carrier, to see how they're going on it. And I've also stolen his keys, so we're about to go dune bashing in Atlantis. Just kidding. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Oh, that colour. With the white roof. Oh, this is like my dream colour for a cut. Like, I'm not even looking at the car, I'm just looking at the colour. Like, it's amazing. Okay, now I'll look at the actual car. What do you think?
They've been test driving it.
Have they?
Yeah, the suspension. Everything's nice and clean except for the suspension. It needs tyres.
Yep, I walked in, thought, wow, that's a beautiful car, wow, that's a beautiful colour. And those tyres. Oh, I just can't get over the colour. It just looks amazing.
Love the white.
Yeah, so good.
What I'd like to bring to you now is a series of videos showing that progress. I'm going to start this week with a South African product, a Bullbar made by a company called Onca. Those of you watching in Australia, you might want to continue watching this. These bars are now available in Australia, and they really are very, very nice bars. And then a rear wheel carrier and a roof rack, and then some interior work for next time.
Well, welcome back. We've got Andrew's vehicle behind us, and together with me I've got Len and Lee from Onca in Johannesburg. It's where the main factory is. They build some amazing products.
If I have a look at my beautiful green Africa troop carrier that I built from 2011, Onca also supplied the wheel arch stone guard flares. And as I look at the footage, I realized that in fact my new Africa Landcruiser is more photogenic than the green one. Especially now with this bar fitted.
Onca officially started in 2003. It's our 20-year anniversary this year. My dad was involved in mining fabrication for many years, and we were involved, me and Len, with 4x4 challenges and 4x4 clubs. So we had a passion for four-wheel drive vehicles from a very young age. And having tools and the steel and stuff available to build our own stuff, we started filling in the garage, building a bumper here and there. And then our friends saw the products and the people at the club saw the products, and just the popularity grew and the people asked for the stuff. And the business grew from a little workshop with 2 employees to almost 3,000 square meters now, with 50 employees, and we're exporting globally now. So we've got a huge dealer network in South Africa, all across Africa, Zambia, Namibia, Botswana, and recently also started exporting to Australia, which was a good opportunity for us, and it was a good learning curve to adapt to their regulations and their requirements. So I think that helped us to push the product into international quality and a higher level of quality.
I do admit that in the past I have been hesitant to specify Bullbar's safety equipment from smaller manufacturers. And that's because I've made the assumption that the bigger manufacturers spend more on crash testing, airbag compatibility, etc. But that's not necessarily the case, and it's not the case with Onca.
Yes, our recovery point are part of the whole main structure, but we've reinforced it and made it about 20 mil thick. So if you use your bow shackle, it doesn't twist when you do a recovery.
Which is actually a big safety thing.
Yeah, and the moment it starts twisting, it also tends to damage the actual structure of the bumper. Now it's impossible for that to happen. So we had it tested in Australia to up to 2.5 tons per recovery point.
Wow. Okay.
And then a lot of guys launches boats and caravans into small corners.
So we've got this receiver on the front here.
Got a receiver facility, but at the same time we tested it up to 1.5 tons.
This has all been done in Australia?
It's all been done in Australia.
Wow.
The facility that does the airbag compatible testing for us.
So I noticed that, all the airbag crumple zones here.
Yeah, all the crumple zones are to Australian design rule. So they don't just do a crumple zone test. You must comply to Australian design rule. That's pedestrian safety and a lot of features that people don't realize. For instance, your roller on your winch.
Yes.
It's not sticking out anymore.
Yeah,
it's all sunken in.
Yeah. And that's again for pedestrian safety.
Pedestrian safety. But it also helps with your approach angles. Everything is out the way now. It's all tucked in as far as possible.
And then I noticed on the front here, a lot of, you've got your spotlight mounting brackets. You strengthened these.
We've made them double. We actually bolted down and gusseted properly.
Just so that there's no shudder.
There's no shudder on long corrugation roads.
Corrugations will destroy anything.
Oh, yeah,
that's the biggest challenge.
Usually like to be, spotlights became heavy with the LED heat sinks at the back. So we had to work around that.
And your driving lights here?
We've got an option on most of the bumpers to use the original OE light, but we prefer to go for the LEDs.
Yes.
And then there's lots of options on the LEDs.
Yeah, you get different qualities, different ranges.
Different qualities, ranges, driving lights, spotlights. So it's a nice feature to the bumper.
Great, nice to have that.
Yeah.
Paul continued chatting to the guys at Onca for a while, and I will edit that clip and present it towards the end of this video. But I want to get into some of the more interesting cosmetic work. These, of course, are wheel arch flares and stone deflectors. With my Australia builds, I have acquired them from ARB. But in both my South Africa Troopy builds, the one in 2012 and this one, Onca have supplied them. They are sprayed the same colour as the bodywork, and I think they look wonderful.
Well, now we've come to the final finishing touches, and I know you've spent a bit of time. We've got the boss putting the wheel arch moldings on, but actually they really do fit very well. The finished product.
Thank you very much. Sure. It's little small adjustments, but it doesn't take that long.
No, and the rubber molding you've used is really nice. And I know they're tough. It's fiberglass. It's strong. It's tough. It really takes a bit of a pounding. And of course, when we put the wider wheels on, it will really. And that's the main reason.
Yeah. That's why we've moved out the standard mud flap.
And you've done that really well because the standard mud flap fits on.
Just molded into the
Yes, really nice. No, I'm very happy. This is great. We'll see how much mud Andrew can get on the vehicle.
What a challenge.
Of course, the front ones, what really impressed me was we measured the distance from the fender to the end of the bumper, and it's exactly 50 mil each side. To the millimeter, which says so much for the accuracy and the fitment of the bumper.
Yeah,
so
the QC process
it pays off. It really does pay off. So very, very good. And I know we've got just an amazing look. So here is the strength built onto the front of this vehicle. This is where the safety is. You don't realize how important it is to have something like this on the vehicle. You only have to have hit an animal, and these guys have witnessed so many vehicles that have come through accidents, and the people have got out the vehicles to live the tale. And that's a testimony to a great product. So thank you so much to you and to Lee for just a great team effort. Okay, so here we are. We've got the bumper fitted to Andrew's vehicle. Let me tell you, it just transforms the vehicle. Now it actually has something that's really safe. If you know the design that's gone into this bumper, the quality assurances, the quality checks that go through the process of manufacture are incredible. They're so stringent. It's gone through to Australia and it's passed all the tests there. Probably one of the toughest tests to pass, from the crash test to all the different recovery point tests. And it comes up trumps. It's a great bumper. It finished off really well with a great finish and a very high quality. And they finished it off with the wheel arch moldings on all four corners using the original mud flaps. And those have just come back to just add the extra width you need to the vehicle for the wide tires. So all in all, this truck is taking shape. Andrew, you're going to love it. The thing is, we're going to drive it before you, just to see how much mud we can get on the car. Wait and see. And what I'm always curious about is the actual coating, because, you know, a lot of bumpers look great for the first year or so, and then they deteriorate over time. Talk us through the process that you do to make your products look as good as they are.
Now, starting off with the manufacturing of the bumper, and it all gets laser cutted and CNC bended for accuracy to fit to the vehicle.
Sure.
Before we start welding, the product gets sandblasted, the material, the carbon scale gets removed, so you get a much cleaner weld and much better penetration on your steel sections with the welding. Once we've welded it, it goes through a QC process, all the spatter gets removed and gets checked, and then we sandblast it, and then it gets a zinc chromite primer, powder coated primer that it gets baked at about 200 degrees. So then it comes back, and then we put on our final black texture coating. We've actually done a salt spray test, now just to check the durability of the product, because at the end of the day, you've got so many corners and stuff, it makes it difficult to get a proper coating. And that's why we opt for powder coating, because it's statically charged. And it goes into all the nooks and crannies and all the, difficult sections. So you've got at the end of the day, you can have the most durable bumper, but if your coating is bad, you sit with the rust bucket. Yeah.
And no one wants to see rust, especially in the small welds.
Yes.
And I know your guys go around with torches. We
put a lot of detail on the finishing. At the end of the day, customers get a quality product. And so the powder coating over the last couple of years has just worked very, very well for us. And that's why we stick with the process.
So it's you get baked the bumper twice.
Yeah, it's a two-stage process. Yeah. So before, say sandblasting, remove all the dirt and stuff, make sure it's 100% clean. Then we do the first bake on primer coating, and then your final black. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you can see, the quality speaks for itself. And I think looking at the way it's been put together, the thought behind it, the safety, the standards. Australia is phenomenal in their safety standards.
Yeah.
You can't knock it. The products that come out of Australia, the products that we're designing in South Africa. So we complement and work together. I believe that's where we all want to go. We want to build an industry that's safe.
Yeah.
We want to educate people so they understand the value of the product. And that's the key thing. You guys do a whole range of products. We'll talk about that, but roof racks and underbody protection and gearbox protection. And one of the few companies I know that does a diff protection front and rear for some of the models, which is again a great feature.
Yeah, and we've reinforced the wind section as well. That's also a very critical aspect of the bar.
Did you find problems previously that you've worked on?
What we do is before we launch a product, we've got an in-house winch testing program where we winch from different angles, different weights, and so we've put this one because you must get that sweet spot between your crumple zone and your ability to pull with the winch. So the thing is, if your crumple zone is too strong, it doesn't pass the test. But if it's too weak, then your winch pulls the whole thing apart. So you must get that sweet spot where those two aspects of the bar works together. And as I say, that's why we looked at the design, the specific angles, the reinforcement placed to bring those two concepts together and to have the ability to use the winch in a safely environment as well, and on a product that doesn't come off.
And this will take most of the winches on the market.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And our popular brands.
All your popular brands.
And you've got good access, and you can actually see this.
Yes.
As it winds. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's why I've got the top slot, so you can see the actual.
This top slot here, so
yes.
you can see that, because that's a key thing. I often see some bumpers where the top slot, you actually can't see the rope winding.
The spool up, and you've got easy access to your free spool lever and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I love the fact that you take feedback. I think it's great to share knowledge and that. So thank you. And we're looking forward to putting it on the car.
Yeah, can't wait to see it.
It's going to look good. And so thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Very good.
Thank you.
Great.